somebody did get up and talk about Redmond. I didn't know Dale was going to, but I thought he probably might say something about Redmond. But, I just knew somebody needed to get up. You know? Couldn't think of anybody else that could do it other than me if his family wasn't going to be here. And I appreciate Dale taking over. And we even changed the day of the reunion. I thought maybe that Redmond was not going to be here because his youngest son, Courtney, was going to have a concert. He's a voice major at Belmont College in Nashville. And so he had invited us out. Of course, his parents were going to be gone last weekend, which is the weekend we normally have the reunion. And so we changed the day of the reunion, thinking that, well, you know, that would give Faye and Martin and Jeanette and I a chance to be here, and Frida and maybe the boys, you know, all the boys could be here. But, you know, it's just hard for them right now. And I hope you forgive them for not being here, but I just don't think they could take it emotionally. It's not a time of celebration and having fun. And that's what we like to do here, in addition to remembering our lost loved ones. But I do appreciate many of you were there at the receiving, the viewing, and the visitation. And I appreciate that. And I tell you, if you waited in that line, you deserve a medal. Somebody said there were 3,000 people there. And I appreciate you being there. I saw a lot of family faces there. Continue to pray for Frida, please, and the children, because they are having a tough time, as we all would. I appreciate you taking over here in Redmond's place. I want to tell you about some of the memories I have of Redmond. I hope I don't get too long into here, but one of the earliest memories I have of Redmond, my brother was slipping off to go to the Nallies. They lived down below us. Mother worked the second shift. And, you know, Mother and Daddy needed to work to make a living. It wasn't a great living, but they met all of her needs. Mother would work second shift, and Redmond and I would sleep. And we were supposed to sleep as long as we could, you know, but of course we'd wake up. And we were ready to get into stuff and go do stuff, and we were supposed to stay in the house. It was all right for us to wake up and get up and play in the house, but we were supposed to stay in the house. Redmond invariably, I don't know how many times, he would sneak off and go down to the Nallies. He had a friend down there, Gail Nally, I believe his name was.
Yes, it was.
But I was supposed to look after Redmond, and so I was in trouble. I was sent to go get Redmond. Well, when I went down there to get Redmond, I had to fight Redmond and Gail to get him back home. So that was my job a lot of times. I was 2 years older, so I was supposed to look after Redmond. Another memory I have of Redmond when we were young. Redmond was smart. He was smarter than I am. I know that takes a lot of you by surprise. But I remember they were trying to teach me to tie my shoes. And we had this little thing, you know, about the rabbit ear, and pull it through, or whatever. And I wasn't getting it too good, but Redmond picked it up. I was probably 5, 6 years old, Redmond 2 years younger, and he learned to tie shoes before I did. And, you know, it gave me incentive when my parents told me, said, well, yeah, Redmond's already learned to do it. So I got enough incentive that I finally learned to tie my shoes. Redmond was a compassionate person. Dale mentioned that. I had loved his family, and I hated to see a problem. I can remember thinking, Redmond has something I don't have. He has a compassionate heart. And my mother has a compassionate heart. I like to think I'm a compassionate person, but Redmond just had an extra dose of it or something. I had people come through the line at the visitation and talk about Redmond and tell me about how he had helped them with various things. One man came by and said, Redmond helped me get custody of my 2 children. And this was back like, I don't know, 30 years ago or something. And he said, but, you know, said, Redmond grilled me. I had to answer a bunch of tough questions. Redmond wanted to be sure that it was the right thing to do. And so he was thankful. And there were other people that said, you know, came through, said, Redmond helped me get my disability, Redmond helped me do this, Redmond helped me do that. And, you know, people, you know, that's kind of a business relationship. People are not going to come out just because somebody did something for them, but they knew Redmond cared. And oftentimes Redmond, I feel certain that Redmond didn't charge people what really the going market rate was. I know several times I talked to Redmond, and he said, well, so-and-so's coming to do such and such in my yard, or do such and such on my bank. And he said, it's a client of mine, and said, they're coming and they're gonna, pay for some work I've done for them that way. And I mean, numerous times he told me things like that. So he had a compassionate heart, and he cared about other people, just like Mother. He got it from Mother, is all I can say. I care about people, but it's not to the extent, apparently, that Redmond did. Redmond was adventurous. Redmond went to Israel several times. He went to Russia one time. We used to go play football. Mother would tell us on Sunday afternoon, Mother said, okay, don't y'all play tackle. Well, we'd get out there, and some of the others would want to play tackle. Redmond just always conveniently forgot. Mother said, don't play tackle. Fortunately, nobody was ever seriously hurt. But one time, I would say, I was 2 years older, so I was always in trouble for not only what I did, but what Redmond did, seemed like. Redmond was honest, and he held a strong principle. Let's see, I don't know. Alma, you might not want to hear this story. Plug up your ears. Because I'm going to tell you, I don't think you've ever heard this story. But Redmond and I had some chicks that were given to us by a former neighbor, and we raised those chickens, and they were running around. They laid eggs, and we got some eggs from these chickens, and we'd gotten a BB gun at some point. And I was out, and I remember I was on the front porch, and I was just going to scare that chicken. So I kind of drew my aim, and of course I held it high, and it was a long ways away. It was probably 200 or 300 feet away at least. I didn't think a BB gun, go that far, and I sort of held high, and that chicken just fell over just like that, dead as a doornail. So, Reverend and I were debating the merits of eating that chicken, but we decided against it. I came up shortly after talking about eating it. I came up with this plan: we were going to hide evidence, and nobody would ever know that I killed that chicken. And so I did, and we kept it to ourselves for several days, and eventually Daddy said, I haven't seen that chicken such a time. We had a name for it, I think. I haven't seen that chicken. Do y'all know what happened to that chicken? Well, of course, Redmond knew exactly what happened to that chicken and didn't mind telling what happened to that chicken. But he was honest.